I talked about when I first got to the LA Mission Shelter in July 12th, 2024. That's when my flight landed. I went straight to the LA Mission Shelter. You got to be a part of a program to live inside the LA Mission Shelter. You cannot just go in there and live. You got to be a part of some type of drug addiction program. I told them that the last time I smoked a drink was February 2023, and the chaplain dudes there told me that you got to go to the Union Station and ask the Metro people that's working with the outreach people to set you up with another shelter that's more suitable for your schedule. The dude Chaplain Wiley told me that. He said, since you don't smoke a drink, go talk to them instead. He basically he said it like, well, I don't think this place is a good place for you. You know, you probably you ain't got no drug problems or nothing like that. And they told me to go to the Union Station, yo. I went to the Union Station, whatever. They set me up with the testimonial shelter. By the 18th of July 2024, I was at the testimonial shelter. One day, this dude that everybody called New York that drove a white Tesla, he took the other Chaplain Wiley dude to go get his car one day. And then after he dropped him off to get his car, me and him went to go get something to eat at this restaurant across the street from MacArthur Park, yo. I still remember it was across the street from MacArthur Park, some buffet spot. And he was just telling me like, yeah, man, watch these grimy ass niggas out here, this and that, this and that. You know, he was saying shit like that. And I'm in the LA library one day. The dude in New York hit me up and asked me about the testimonial shelter that I was in. He told me that, do they help out with housing? I told him that they close around like 5 p.m. or something like that. But yeah, you can go there. He told me that he'll give me a ride back to the testimonial shelter. And I said that I'm going to go to this place called The Lamp and take a shower because they do free showers at that building called The Lamp. And you can also wash your clothes there because it's a laundromat next door to that shower area. And I told him when I leave from there, I'll go holler at him because he stayed at the LA Mission Shelter. He was a part of some type of a program in the LA Mission. I couldn't live in the LA Mission because I wasn't in any program. Anytime I spent the night at the LA Mission and went to sleep there, it was on the mats that they give people that's just there for the night. They give people a mat, a little wool cover and stuff, and then you go upstairs, you go to sleep. It's like a gym area up there you go to sleep at, a gym area. The people that actually slept in the LA Mission Shelter that lived there, they slept in the cubicles. I wasn't in a Lakata program. I wasn't in some drug addiction program. So every single day, I had to write my name down on the paper and see if they would actually let me have a bed to go to sleep for that night at the LA Mission Shelter. The only way that you wouldn't have a bed, only way that you could actually live there is if you was a part of some program. I was not a part of any program at the LA Mission Shelter. That's why I went to the Union Station, talked to the Metro people, and then they sent me to the testimonial shelter. This girl named Daisy took my information down. She took a picture of me with her tablet. She told me to take a picture of my book bag and my luggage and send it to her. And I sent her a picture of my luggage because she wanted to see if my luggage was too big to get it to the testimonial shelter or not. And then they told me they got me in the testimonial shelter. So one particular day, I'm at the LA Mission. I'm at the LA library. The dude in New York told me he was at the LA Mission. He told me to let him know when I leave from the LA library, he'll give me a ride back. And I told him I'm about to go take a shower at this place called The Lamp. And then I'll holler at him later. I said a prayer in my mind when I got out of the shower and just asked if I should go around him. I walked into this store that was on Wall Street. It's a store that's right across the street from the LA Mission. You know what I'm saying? And it's on 5th and Wall Street. I wasn't in that store that sat on the corner. I was at the store that was across the street from the side of the building. So this store actually sat on Wall Street around like Winston Street. It sat on Wall Street though, but the side street was Winston Street. And it's across the street from the side of the LA Mission, on the side of the building. It's across the street from there. I went into that store. I think people try to lie on me and say that I was across the street. I went to the store that was on a corner across the street from the LA Mission. No, I went to this store that was like a little small mini boutique that had a whole bunch of other stores connected to the left side of it and the right side of it. That sat on Wall Street. It was some light-skinned girl in there with a prosthetic leg, and there was this Hispanic-looking dude or Arabic or I don't know what he was mixed with looking dude in there. He was working there, and so was his girlfriend. They both worked at that place. The dude was the cashier, so was old girl. And as soon as I walked in there, she was like, I'm scared. I'm scared. You don't know who car you be getting into. You could be getting in the car with somebody you don't even know who they are. This light-skinned girl just opened up out of nowhere talking about, you don't know who car you be getting into. You don't know who car you be getting into. And I was like, all right, I'm going to take that as a sign from God. So I didn't go to the LA Mission Shelter when I walked up out of that store. I bust a right down 5th Street, walking back toward the LA subway terminal. You know what I'm saying? The underground subway terminal. Going back toward the Slauson exit where that the subway take me to. And I got a text message from that dude in New York saying, I thought you was a real East Coast dude, SMH. You could have just told me if you didn't want to get a ride back. And I responded back, hey, bro, you got kids my age, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this childish right now. I was basically saying, like, you making me paranoid because old girl already made me paranoid by the way she looked at me, talking about you don't know who car you be getting into. The girl that worked at the store that's on Wall Street. So I was like, no, I don't trust this shit. And as soon as I walked up out of that store, she jumped on her phone. The light-skinned girl jumped on her phone like that. So I told this story 1,000 times about that particular day. And I'm going to also include that the dude that worked at that store, that had the girlfriend that also worked at that store, he was trying to get me to talk to old girl. He kept saying, you want to talk to her? You don't think she's cute, man? You don't think she's pretty? Why don't you go ahead and talk to her? I'm like, no, I'm good. And then the light-skinned girl looked at me and she was like, you see how he just tried to brush me off like that? And I was like, oh, y'all in a relationship? I didn't know y'all play like that. Because he kept on trying to get me to talk to a girl. She opened up to me about how you don't know who car you be getting into. She kept saying that to me. This is between the 18th and the 28th of July, 2024. And the reason why I know it was between the 28th and the 18th of July, 2024, because after that one dude in New York hit me up on that particular day and said, I thought you was a real East Coast dude. I was like, hey, bro, I'm from the Midwest. And I was like, you making me kind of like iffy right now and skeptical and paranoid because if you saw me, why you ain't just say something? Why you just send me a text? But he never responded when I said that. But the next day I hit him up. I sent him a text message and I said, hey, I'm getting baptized on the 28th of July. So that's how I know for a fact that it was between the 18th and the 28th of July, 2024, because on the 18th of July, 2024 is when I went to the testimonial shelter. And I had a conversation with him about the testimonial shelter after I was already in there, but I wasn't baptized yet. So this was between the 28th and the 18th of July, 2024, when I sent him that text message saying, hey, I'm getting baptized. Because this one dude that was the pastor at the LA Mission, this chubby bald head guy, he was the one that matter of fact, he was the one that was praying in the background when I got baptized. He was the one that was recording my phone, recording me getting baptized on my phone. You know what I'm saying? This stocky dude, this stocky kind of heavy set dude, he told me he was the pastor at the LA Mission. So I was gonna make this video way longer because I just recorded a video that was like 30 fucking minutes long, yo. But I said I'm gonna make this one way more shorter. And when I got baptized, yo, one of the main things that the pastor said a prayer with me and told me to pray along with him with, he said, repent for dishonoring your parents. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry for dishonoring my parents. Even though it was a lot of messed up stuff that happened in the past, when I stated that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, okay, this is closure right here. All the messed up stuff I said in the past and all of that, this is closure right now. So when I made an apology in August 2024, a lot of people who didn't know me took it upon themselves to hack my phone all day and start shit. Basically, bad talk me online and stuff like that. That was not just a situation of a small group of people hacking my phone and trying to frame me and sabotage me. That was a big attack. Meaning it was people that was in a whole bunch of different fraternities and sororities, cliques and cults and gangs and brotherhoods and sisterhoods. They had the same understanding, even though they came from a different gang or a different clique or fraternity or brotherhood or sisterhood or sorority or organization. They still had the same motive to lie on me and frame me and defame me. And I don't give a fuck about he say, she say, talk. But when I said that my family all of a sudden looked different, man, dog, that's when I realized it's a lot of people with a lot of malicious motives out here, yo, evil motives out here. Because when I realized my family been cloned, I said, this went too far. The only way a whole bunch of people can get away with that is if a whole bunch of people was in on it. It's that simple. So on the 23rd of September, 2024, I got my hair twisted by this lady named Nene. A few days before that, all I did was walk through Skid Row, walk down 5th Street, walk to this corner store, and I asked this one dude if he knew anybody that did hair. It was I think the man was gay. I'm not certain, but he told me he had a friend, and then he called her up. She walked in the store, told me her name was Nene, and she told me she'd retwist my hair. You know what I'm saying? And then by the 23rd of September, I believe this was, she retwisted my hair. After I got my hair retwisted, I went back to the tiny home shelter. At this time, I was at a tiny home shelter. When I saw that dude named New York in a white car, in a white Tesla, and driving down 3rd Street around 3rd and Corona Lake, and he was like, "Hey, what's up, man? You living over here now?" I just said, "Oh, what's up, bro?" And then put my fist up at that time. And the light-skinned girl that was in the passenger seat, I truly believe that that was the girl that was working in that store that was off of Wall Street next to the side street that was Winston Street, but the store sat on the side of the LA Mission, across the street from the LA Mission. So it was across the street from the side of the LA Mission. It sat on Wall Street. It wasn't the store that sat on the corner that was right on Wall Street and 5th Street. It was the one that was on Wall Street closer to Winston Street that was connected to other little mini boutiques and stuff like that. And there was some light-skinned girl in there that was in there with some dude that kept on trying to get me to holler at the light-skinned girl. And she told me that the dude that worked there was her boyfriend. And all I said was, "No, I'm good, bro." That was it. And I think some type of lie got told. So looking at from afar, I said, "That's that same." I think that's that same lady. And I just put my fist up like, "Oh, what's up?" I said, I believe that's that same lady that was in that store." So that made me even more skeptical, because I was like, what is that same lady doing here? So I have a connection with God, and God gave me dreams and visions, and I'm starting to think that that was my sister. And if that was my sister, that means a lot of people was in on it, and a lot of people left me hanging, and a lot of people hold me because they had more of a fucked up motive to be scandalous and fucked up acting toward me. Back in the day, in 2024, I said that a lot of people that's in brotherhoods and stuff is attacking me, cyberly hacking my phone all day and everything. And I spoke about an old teacher of mine that I feel like was possibly looking out for me, that was telling me this is what's going on around you. And I talked about a teacher named Mr. Bloom that was one of my favorite teachers. He used to call me Future back in the day because he used to say my eyes were so big I could see in the future. And all I was saying was I believe that he was trying to give me like a hint of what was going on or some shit like that. That's all I was saying. But even after that, I came forth and apologized to everybody for recording that video. But if a lot of people that I went to high school with has grouped up and then tried to fuck my name and fuck my life up based off of that, yo, man, look, if you ain't got something good to say, it's best to not say nothing good at all. But look, I ain't mean no disrespect to my teacher back in the day. That was my teacher, and that's just what I'm gonna leave it at. But when it comes to everybody I went to high school with and all that other stuff, I've had dreams of it. I had a dream that my sister was driving, and then she parked in front of a car that was parked on the side that had its hood up, and she started crying. And then people grabbed me out the car, and I was like, "No, no." In a way, the dream was like interpreted. You know how you have a dream and you could just tell? It's like the way I comprehended that dream, it was like that's what happened with my sister. The 23rd and the 24th of March, 2025. I'm in tiny home unit number 31. My Instagram all of a sudden got suspended. Just got suspended. Got suspended. I felt my phone vibrating, and all I was doing was looking at a couple IG models. I didn't post anything or anything. The old man that was sitting in the same exact tiny home unit across from me was just looking down at his phone like this. He was looking at me like this. As soon as I said, "Yo, my phone is vibrating like somebody texting," he stopped looking at me, then looked down at his phone. And I truly believe that that dude was hacking in my phone, putting something explicit up on my Instagram, trying to frame me and sabotage me. That was a whole team of people lying on me, yo. August 2nd, I caught a cold and I got some NyQuil. Or no. I went to the doctor August 2nd, 2024. This is already after I had a cold. I had some NyQuil. August 2nd, August 22nd, I went to Dignity Health emergency room, yo. And September 2nd, I went to the Centinela emergency room. I'm out there talking to the Jehovah's Witnesses. I caught a cold right after I got baptized on July 28, 2024. I caught a fucking cold, yo. And went and got me some NyQuil. My sister cashed out me some money to get some NyQuil. My cold came back around like late August, early September 2024. And I went and got me some more NyQuil. And all I was doing was standing on the corner of Slauson and West and talking to these Jehovah's Witnesses, and I felt myself get lightheaded and passed out. Usually I take NyQuil at nighttime, but on that particular day I took it in the daytime. I already ate. I had already drank 2 bottles of water. They told me that you had a seizure when I woke up. I woke up with a bloody mouth and bruises on my leg. They said you had a seizure. And I asked them by September 9th, 2024, what happened? I said, if I passed out and you hit me out of reflexes while I was falling down, just let me know. They told me, no, you wouldn't remember it. You passed out. But I felt myself getting stumped when I was unconscious. I got sucker punched and stumped. And then they allowed everybody around that area to make up a lie about me and say I tried to fight 2 Jehovah's Witnesses, yo. And if it's some nigga running around Cali saying that I owe him some money or some shit like that, if somebody made up a lie and said that I stole from them, if somebody said that I cut some lady out, if somebody saying that I had sex with somebody, it's all a lie. And if somebody has any kind of video or recording of anything of me engaging in a sexual act, the only way that that's possible is if somebody raped me in my sleep. And the only way somebody could rape me in my fucking sleep is if somebody drugged my food or put some type of a substance next to me while I was asleep that put me into a deeper state of unconsciousness. That's the only way. And if it's not a video around, or if it's a statement going around, or if that actually just happened, I don't give a fuck if nobody said anything. If somebody has done anything to me sexual at all, last time I engaged in sex was February 2022 with this lady named Martha. If anybody did anything with me sexual at all after February 2022, I was raped unconscious. I'm not saying that I engaged in sex and went unconscious. No, I was unconscious, and then somebody did something that they had no fucking business doing, and everybody covered it up because everybody that helped cover it up was possibly a part of the same gang or the same organization or something like that. It's that simple. I'm not no fucking retard, dog. I'm not stupid. I'm not mentally ill. I know if I'm engaging in sex or if I'm not engaging in sex. I know if I want to go fuck some lady, if I don't want to go fuck with some lady. I know if I want to go get some head from some lady, if I don't want to go get some head from some lady. It's that simple. So the only difference in this video than all the other videos is me basically letting it be known that back in the day, I said that I believed that it was certain people that was giving me a hint on what was going on around me. That wasn't disrespectful, no type of disrespect to them or anything like that. That was just me saying I believe they was giving me a hint. And I still came forward in August 2024, said, hey, my apologies to everybody. But I believe it was so many people that was so obsessed with hatred toward me, they didn't even give a fuck if something messed up happened to my family in the process. Because, I mean, when you look around, all my family members look clone now. I'm not, man, look, you can't, if somebody tried to offer me $1 billion and then try to hurt a family member of mine, I wouldn't take that. I'm not like that. So I feel like can't nobody just, man, look, I'm a pray to God tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because some things I'm not letting go. But the reason why I'm using that one girl as an example, because I feel like that girl was trying to give me a hint, yo. That one girl was trying to give me a hint. That one girl that was in that store that sat on Wall Street, across the street from the side of the LA Mission shelter. I believe she was trying to give me a hint. And I think other people came forth and made up lies in the past and said that I was at some other store to try to make it look like I was lying. I don't know how everybody just sat on their ass and watched the whole family of people lie on me, watched the whole gang or a whole brotherhood of people lie on me. I don't know how everybody just sat back and watched and smashed on a whatever, watched me like it was their favorite TV show. See, he say, she say, talk, gossip, and rumors. I don't care, yo. I did give a fuck at one point in time. It did bother me a lot because the way people act towards you do bother you a lot. But when it comes to the safetyness and the health of my family, nah, it's going too far, yo. So if it's somebody saying that I stole something, I'm going to say again, I ain't stole since I was a teenager. Literally, I ain't stole since I was under the age of 18, yo. Last time I engaged in sex was February 2022. Last time I smoked or drank or vaped or anything that had anything to do with getting having a buzz was February 2023.